Contra 3, The Alien Wars. It's about time I finish this playthrough, isn't it? So, if you remember last time, we got through the first 4 levels. So that just leaves us levels 5 and 6. I do apologize. It is basically a full 15 minutes that this rest of the thing will take. And this spot right here is really a bear. I fall off on it most of the time. And that stupid centipede thing was just going to come and kill me, so I let off my bomb. Normally I wouldn't want to do that. This time I run away, but yeah, there's no good way around it. And so, again, that stupid centipede's trying to get me, but I do manage to get my spread and kill it. This part is always confusing because they spin you around a lot. I never know if I'm going to the right spot or if I'm heading back where I came from. So I was trying to get my L button situated just so I could get my spin just right and not swirl around so much, but that didn't work, so I had to let off my bomb because, you know, I died. Why not? Wasn't gonna get any better. And this is taking me quite a while to get this stupid thing. And of course the problem with the crush is that it fires so slowly. So I gotta run away from these green ants. And so there, that gives me a laser, which is really nice for this particular boss. So I already got a crush, so I figure I'll pick it up for the points. And I already got a laser, so I figure I'll pick it up for the points. But I didn't want to flamethrower. So it's off to shoot the eyeball. And this thing doesn't do much besides send things after you, but it's really kind of a cheap thing because it spins around the ground like that. And again, if you get your L and R buttons held just so you can kind of just sit in one spot and shoot at it. Which is what I'm going for here. Of course, if you get flames thrown at you, you basically have to duck, which ruins it all. And so I'm just barely off from getting it. And you'd think a homing missile would be good on this level, but not really so much. And again, I'm just barely off. You can kind of weave in and out, but you can't really rotate much without resetting the whole thing. And I'm so close to being on target, I don't really want to do that. But then I get hit by a flamethrower anyway. So why not? A homing missile, and then I die anyway. Because this thing really isn't all that fair. Turns out spread's much better for this. It's not all that great because, you know, it just doesn't hurt very much when you individually pull up, but it does hit things up when you do late. So, better than nothing. Then I lose my angle. That's flamethrower about to kill me. And so this is not the fastest I've ever done it. I've done worse, and I lost my spread trying to get a better weapon. And then I get that bomb and I figure, why not? I'm probably just going to die again soon anyway. But this bomb's way too close to the mouth, so I say no. But then I killed it, so I say, okay. And there you go. And so that didn't take very long. So if you hadn't guessed, it's going to be the next level that will take up basically the rest of the video. And that level would be the final level of level 6. And here we go. And laser's really not a good weapon for this level. It just fires too slow. But you know, getting the bomb is always nice. So I pick up the spread because while it's not really all that great for this particular sub-boss, it should be better for the rest of the level. And I'm fairly close, and then I just get the pressure again. Not particularly sure why. Oh, just because it's there. And then they kill me because part of the problem with this one is everything's coming at you too fast. So if you try and get down, you're basically just getting killed. Your homing missiles actually being pretty good. This might be the best homing missile does in the whole game. But still gets me killed because homing missile doesn't hurt anything. But flame's not so bad, considering that this is all the movie Aliens inspired. That's not too surprising. Flame in the very first game really stunk up the place, but here it's pretty good. And here I am stuck again, thinking, I should just, flamethrower this. Didn't work. So the trick you want to do is to kill off these bottom things fast. But that doesn't work so well because all my weapons I had did not fire very well. But if you do that, you can kind of get at this exact angle and spot, and it's shooting it and making it impossible for the rest of the little spiders to come and kill you. So now it's just a waiting game, ha ha ha. And there goes our homage to the first Contra's final boss. And here comes an homage to the second Contra, Super C that is, final boss. Oh no, it's scary! Monster coming out from under the floor. Even Vegeta and Dragon Ball Z thought that was passe and predictable. So I was trying to dodge that, and as you notice, it didn't work. So here I am. Let's try it again. That time I get it. Because, it's not really all that fair. Of course, that's the whole game here. What is that thing hanging down on the side? Is that like a throat? Or an esophagus or something? Because it treats it as a leg, but it looks more like a throat or esophagus. And this next little guy, he is a real pain in the backside. I get him pretty good on this playthrough, but man alive, if you don't have your crusher and you don't get him just right, he'll whip you with his tail and you'll just fall off, and then you're sitting there playing hide and seek with him for 20 minutes. Thankfully this one isn't quite so long. It's still not short. So I did have to abuse save states quite a lot. You might notice a little gap there because save state about here. And right here, this gets me killed all the time. I don't know why I didn't do it this time. I just tricked it somehow by shooting at the middle, I guess. But it only worked for so long. And I still don't know why that one died first. I thought I killed the other one a lot more. No real complaints. This one's a lot easier to dodge. Just seems a little strange, that's all. And so this part... Oh, I usually don't do that. This part is usually not too bad. It's very lengthy, but the regular machine gun's quite good at it. But you can't really hit him all that much, so you may find yourself getting extra lives because he's killing things over and over and over again while waiting for this thing to die. Those shrimp things, they really freak me out. I'm not sure what they're supposed to be, but they look like bugs. Of course the whole thing looks like bugs. And, the movie Aliens. It's very H.R. Geiger inspired. So it's Borg from Star Trek. But this one pulls it off too. I always thought back in the day that this would have made an awesome movie. If they'd done a feature film and made it all aliens-like. Could have had the scene where the giant thing tries to kill you in the parking lot. That would have been cool. So this little thing, you have to basically just sit in the right spot and go back and forth. But yeah, I'm getting kind of impatient and didn't duck there, right? So I got killed. I wasn't too happy about that. A lot of these are really just tests of what you can do. So basically we're on the brain, which is the last boss. They just get tired of trying to set up one thing for you. So it's like, here, have a couple dozen, and you have to keep repeating them over and over again until you're out of lives or you kill it. Which is something kind of cool. It's kind of a cop-out too. But it's a bit more epic than, say, Contra or Super Super. I'll give it that. You feel like you're more accomplished for winning this one, rather than just sort of standing in place with a giant heart or a giant face. But then, in the NES's defense, it couldn't really do much more. If you had a full screen boss, it wasn't moving around much. And it sure wasn't getting animated much. You couldn't afford to put it on a cartridge. Now, Super Nintendo had much bigger cartridges, but you're still looking at a game that would probably fit on a 3.5-inch floppy from back in the day. They always talked about 8 megabits, which really meant 1 megabyte. 3.5-inch floppy from back in the day was 1.4 megabytes. So I was always a little unimpressed with that, and then they try and trick you by having it be in megabits instead of megabytes. It's like, hey, that's pretty cheap. And as you noticed, I got lucky, and this thing just died. Hallelujah. Oh, here's my cool helicopter to help me out from level, what was it, 4. I mean, let's roll the ending credits, except, like any good monster movie, this thing has to come back and be killed a 3rd time. Now it's got this super cool suit of armor, and it's coming after you. You're not escaping, it says. I am going to get you. I'm going to ram you with my big spikies, and it'll kill you. And if that doesn't work, I'll swat at you with my big metal arms. Ha ha. There's no way you can win this. It's a big cheat. There's nothing you can do. I'm going to get you. And then I blew up. Because he actually doesn't take that many hits. But you can't escape until you beat him. It's not like you can get to the top. Nope, that thing has to die. And I do kind of apologize upcoming here. I was running into the 15-minute limit that YouTube imposes on you if you don't hand over all your personal information. So I did have to kind of zoom through some of these credits. I feel a little bad for that. All these people worked hard on it, but what can you do? Run into limits. It's not like I put in that many extra pictures and level transitions. See, that looks very much like it came from the movie Aliens. Anyway, Contra 3. One of my favoriteest games of all time. And replaying it was cool, but it also made me realize I am not very good at this game anymore. I lost all my skills and stuff. There we are going, woohoo, we're cool! Me and player 2, who you never saw through this playthrough, because, you know, that requires a second person to play with me. And I just don't have that, sorry. So, here's about where we go warp speed. Probably most people don't care. I mean, you still can see the names. If you count it up, it's really not that many people for, you know, a major game at the time. I mean, it's quite a bit. It's no one-man band. So it's, you know, it's not hundreds, it's dozens. And probably most of them weren't working on it full time. They're probably working on a couple of these things. And I really like this very last thing that they say. A peaceful time will come. It's a nice hopeful moment. And then you get to see the man-faced dog run back and forth. And that man-faced dog is really creepy. And so then we get our final score, and that's it. Hope you had fun. Rate, comment, subscribe. Bye-bye.